Hey you guys, it's Ty and welcome back to my channel where I help you guys stay uplifted, motivate you, and find peace amongst yourself. So if you're interested in these type of videos, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up by leaving a like, make sure you're commenting down below, and make sure you're subscribed by turning on your notification bell if it's not on already, as well as follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter at Ty_guidance and on Facebook at Talks with Ty to stay up to date. All of that information will be down in the description box below. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, you guys. It is 8:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and today is Wednesday, October 20th, 2021. So I hope you guys have been enjoying your new week as well as this month of October by reflecting and practicing daily. So with that being said, for today's video, we will go over and discuss why is it important to understand the process. For the month of October, I strategically and specifically have set my intentions and my content based off of a playlist of making priorities. And once again, for those of you who are new here, welcome back. Those of you who are returning, thank you guys so much for having your notifications on, sharing my videos, and following me on my social media to stay up to date. So with that being said, before we start today's video, something that I like to do for those of you who might be new and this is your first time here watching today's video or just stopping by on my channel, is I like to break down keywords from the title/topic by using a dictionary or thesaurus to guide you guys and give you guys factual information, not only to reassure you guys what these words mean, but to refresh your mind and to understand how you may perceive or process that information. On this channel, I provide services from speaking from a place of experience or suggesting and advising information. If not, something that I like to do is give you guys factual information that can be informative as well as knowledgeable. And with that being said, because I am just like you, a regular human being who does not know everything, I'm teachable. So just as I teach you guys information, I also take this information and I apply it to myself. So with that being said, whenever I don't know something, I take the time to educate myself, I practice, I reflect, and I suggest and advise you guys do the same. So that being said, don't let anybody invalidate how you feel. This is a channel where it's non-judgmental, so you're allowed to be yourself, express yourself, and knowing that everyone processes and perceives information differently. That's why I suggest and advise. I don't tell you guys what to do, nor do I force my beliefs, my religion, or my background on you guys. So with that being said, the words that I chose to break down from the dictionary/thesaurus are the words important, understand, and process. So let's go ahead and start today's video by breaking down the first keyword. And the first word I'm going to break down is the word, important. Important is an adjective. So knowing that importance is a great, significant, or value, or likely to have profound, effective success, or in a survival mode. So something that is important could be a principle or key, or maybe it may be a main thing, or something that's powerful or influential. So something that is important has a high rank of status, or having a higher rank of status. Something that is important has a significant, original, influential. So something that can be significant is something that has a great, or something that may be important or worthy of someone's attention, as well as consequential. So something that is consequential is important and significant. So having a powerful idea of a person, organization, or country that has control or an influence over people, places, or events. So why is it important to understand a process? The second word we're going to go over and define is the word understand. So understand or understanding is a psychological process that's related to an abstract or a physical object, such as a person, situation, or a message, whereby one is able to concept to model that object, and understanding is a relation between the knower or an object of understanding. So comprehension. To understand something is what you do. So you perceive something, you intend something, rather you interpret it or view it into a particular way. So lastly, and the last word we're going to go ahead and define from the dictionary is the word process. So a process, or to process something, could be used as a noun or a verb. When you're using it as a noun, processing is having a procedure or operation or taking action. To process something, you have a series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular end. You can also use the word process if you're a lawyer or in law school or using this in a court. Once again, I'm reading the definition off my phone, so I do apologize because this is a live video, meaning I read the information, but because I'm reading it out loud and I'm suggesting and advising it to you guys, I want to make sure that it makes sense to me in my head before I just say it. So when you process something in law, you're having a summons or requiring something to a person to appear in court. Lastly, processing, this is what we're going to be talking about for today's video, is a verb, so something that you do. When you process something, you perform a series or mechanical chemical operations of something in order to change something or to perceive something. So why is it important to understand the process? Why is it important in general just to understand when it comes to processing your emotions, your thoughts, your mental health, yourself, others, and anything around you? So what I realized when it comes to processing and understanding is that when it comes to healing, there is no right or wrong way to do so. So when you're here to heal yourself, when you're trying to figure out your mental health, when you're trying to deal with PTSD, ADHD, any form of trauma or any hurt, your depression or anxiety, realizing that it's a series of steps and decisions that are involved in order for you to complete what it is that you're wanting to do. So a lot of people do not realize the process everywhere in every aspects with the leisure, because people may not realize that when it comes to taking steps, having authority, you need a direction. A lot of people are lost, and that's okay, because 99% of us, or all of us, were once lost in our life. And what I mean by that, we were once children as babies, not knowing who we are and what we are exposed to, not realizing our environment, not realizing our resources and geographically where we live. So for example, I am a child, my parents were children, their parents were children, and nobody has a book in life to, one, live your life, experience your life. So that means there's no right or wrong way to be a parent, there's no wrong or right way to be a child, to be a movie star, an athlete, regardless of what you're doing or who you are. So realizing that when it comes to processing, realizing that it takes steps and it takes your experience and opportunities to come to this awareness to figure out where it is that you want to go. So it's important to understand the process, because when you realize the benefits and understanding that you want to heal, that you don't want to, deal with anxiety, you don't want to suffer from depression or ADHD, whatever label or attachment that you've been given based off of society or just how you feel because of your environment, you realize what you want to have to do. So access information quickly when it comes to solving problems and reduce your downtime. So reflecting is really important to understand the process. This is something I had to learn without this year and the past couple of years in my life. When it came to me healing, when it came for me experiencing opportunities that may have caused tragedy, whether they were positive or negative, how it affected me and how I was able to reflect. That's why I tell you guys it's really important to practice daily and improve your quality. So understanding that you want to reduce risk and improve security. So improving yourself and understanding the process allows you to realize what you've been through and how it affects you. So when you understand the process, realizing that when things are being processed, it's important to describe how the situation is or how it's affecting you. So providing focus and making things more personal rather than it determines off of what you've been through. So not allowing the situation to hold you, but to realize how you felt during the situation. Because when it comes to healing, when it comes to finding yourself and figuring out what you want to do when it comes to your mental health or just in general, like, you have to acknowledge and realize it is okay to be vulnerable. This is why I started this channel. This is why I started this channel, because when I originally, back in like 2016, 2017, that was the last year that I was really in a deep depression, and I didn't realize that, one, it was okay for me to go through life not knowing that the mistakes or the experiences, because I don't like the word mistakes, but it's a common word, the experiences that I made were because I lacked knowledge, meaning I was ignorant to the situations. Because if people knew where they were today, where they were going to be 3 years ago, or even 3 months or 2 days ago, people wouldn't make certain decisions. So it's important for you to be mindful and realize with every action comes a consequence. So holding yourself accountable so you can focus on the right process. In order for you to design the way to your success or to figure out what path you want to be on, you have to have obstacles, and realizing that an obstacle is just an opportunity. It's your perspective and how you choose to carry yourself and handle yourself in this situation. So it's important to understand the process, because the process is allowing you to understand and comprehend how things are going to be determined. It's going to determine your reality, and it's also going to determine the direction you go in. So something I want to suggest and advise when it comes to understanding the process and why it's important is taking the time to journal. So get a handy dandy notebook. Oh my gosh, you guys. I have my phone on the stand. I caught it just in time, so I do apologize about that. My phone is way heavier than the actual stand, so in due time I have to get new equipment because this is not going to work. So I do apologize about that. But get yourself a handy dandy notebook. I have my stand on a desk, and I have like a 2-layer desk. So like the way it's set up, I would show you guys, but I'm not trying to move everything. The way it's set up, it's on the higher end of the desk. So like I literally have this stand on the back of my lamp, and because like I said, my phone for the stand, which it was important for me to read the box, which I did briefly. So next time you buy or purchase something, read it all the way. It's not going to kill you to take a moment to stop, because I bought this and I seen that this was like a newer iPhones, and it says it on here, the weight limit, but I'm just like, okay, it's just the stand for iPhone. I just saw the picture, I didn't read the back of it, and it says there's a weight limit in the type of phones, and the phone that I have is older or considered outdated, so it's a lot heavier. So I'm doing the best that I can. I have iPhone 11 currently here, which I'm pretty sure may or may not fit, but I know eventually I'm going to invest into my equipment, because as much as I give you guys positive information and suggest advice information from my, you know, genuine bottom of my heart, I also want to invest into the quality. So like taking the time to edit, like when I first started, I used to have the intro, I used to take my time to edit the video, have words, you know, pop up, or when you guys watch YouTubers, you may see certain clips, you see how much time and effort. It's not to say that I don't care about you guys or the effort that I'm putting into editing, but because I've started my channel as a businesswoman, I'm doing 90% of the work. So before I can hire an editor, before I can hire someone to make my thumbnails, before I can do X, Y, and Z, A, B, and C, I have to learn how to do everything by myself. And because I'm doing this by myself, because that was the goal for me, to work for myself, realizing, you know, the process. So just how like buying equipment and realizing starting my channel is the same process. So understanding that when you first start something, or you exist, or you're doing something you never done, that not to doubt yourself or not to be so worried, because you have no idea what you're doing. And like my mentor had taught me that, like, how do you know that you're going to be a good boss if you've never been a boss before? How do you start a business if you never ran a business before? How do you learn how to ride a bike? You know, like learning to not have so much attachment and so much, you know, pressure, or realizing that once again, the obstacles in your experiences, because everyone's born into a world not knowing who they are or what they are and where they want to be. And it's not until, you know, you have certain situations in your life, whether they're positive or negative, that you realize. And that's why it's important. So that's why I was saying, get yourself a journal and start documenting how you feel, or surrounding yourself with like-minded people, because it's really important. Like for a lot of us, we cannot change our environment. So a lot of people cannot just up and leave. If you are able to up and leave, take some time, go on vacation, start going out, going to different places where you live in your state or your city, and seeing different parts of the world. Because the more you're exposed to a different reality or opportunity, the more insightful it is for you to realize, okay, do I want to, you know, go here, or do I want to move here, or whatever it is. So writing down how you feel and surrounding yourself, because once again, some people are not able to control their environment. Some people are unemployed, especially because we're in a new world and new things are happening to us. So doing what you can in order to understand the process and realizing that things are going to work for you, or how you want to go about direction, you have to experience. That's why I said I don't like the word mistakes, because anybody can have an accident, anybody can do things unintentionally, rather you're naive, rather you're ignorant, meaning you lack knowledge. And that's how I made a lot of my decisions. I didn't have the knowledge to know what I was doing, and I just took the risk, and not realizing that you can only take a certain amount of risk where it may cost you your life, or your mentality, or just overall your existing. And you don't want to keep running into red flags. Like, you don't want to collect red flags. The first red flag is a red flag. Do not take nothing more or less of it. So understanding, it's important to understand how you feel in situations, writing down how you feel, verbally expressing yourself, or surrounding yourself with like-minded people. So if you're around people who, you know, you feel like, and it's hard to determine, because if you're around for somebody so long, this is why it's so important to listen to people who you may not, know. Because when you're around people and you're in an environment all day, every day, and you're not able to distinguish, what's in front of you because you're so used to a habitat. If you meet someone who's in a different environment, listen to what they're saying and be mindful, use your discernment and your judgment when people are suggesting and advising information to you, as well as me. Realizing how is this affecting you, and realize that when people say stuff to you, it's for a reason. Rather someone's lying, telling the truth, or being honest, or rude or disrespectful, it's for a reason. So trying to use your discernment and understand where and the intentions of things, because in order for you to process something, you have to be able to acknowledge what it is, what the intention is. So understanding, what you're going through, how it made you feel from the age of 5, the age of 10, and learning to forgive. And that's what we're going to be talking about for the month of November. I have some ideas based on the quality and the content that I want to give out, but realizing that it's okay to go through things in life and not know what you're going through. And it's okay for you to bump your head. You don't want to keep bumping your head, though. You don't want to be a hard head that makes it soft behind. You want to be able to realize, like, okay, if I did this and this is not, what came out, that you learned something, you were able to experience it. And if you are good at it, or you were able to learn from it, to continue to do so and readjust it. That's how you have a plan. In order for you to be disciplined, you have to be uncomfortable. So in order for me to come on here and be as consistent as I was within this last year of me having my channel, I had to be in a point where I was just like, okay, like, I don't, appreciate what I've done. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I want for myself. That, taking a step further and realizing that everybody moves at their own pace. So when it comes to understanding the process, do not compare yourself to other people. You guys know I'm going to tell you all the time, do not compare yourself. That is something that I will say do not do on my channel. I don't like to tell you what to do and what not to do, but I am going to tell you because I care about you guys. For my genuine subscribers, do not compare yourself to other people. You are not other people. And I'm going to tell you, as Talks with Ty, I don't care how anybody feels, because this is my opinion. It is very delusional for you to compare yourself to someone who is physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually not you. It is. That's my opinion. I said it. Take it or leave it. Feel how you feel. Y'all can say what y'all want in the comments, but I said what I said, and I'm going to stand on it. It's not fair for you to sit here to compare yourself to someone's highs when you're low. Is that fair to you? No. So realizing when it comes to understanding the process, you want to describe how you're feeling. So really writing down how you feel, getting a journal, getting a notebook, or recording yourself. The reason why I tell people to look at themselves in the mirror is because when you look at yourself in the mirror, you see yourself. And recently I seen on TikTok, I do apologize about that, my camera went out, and as you guys can see, like, I'm just having a whole bunch of technical difficulties. But the last thing I was saying, and I'm going to end this video here, is that this lady I seen on TikTok was just talking about how when it comes to self-reflection and being self-aware of yourself, like, being comfortable in your skin. And that's why I tell you guys to look in the mirror, because when it comes to confronting yourself, regardless if you're insecure or you're comfortable with how you look physically, emotionally, spiritually, emotionally, or financially, practicing and realizing that you are all that you have. So when it comes to understanding your process, whether you want to work out, you want to lose weight, you want to gain weight, you want to fix something, that being you for who you are is a start. So in order to process something, in order to understand, you have to be somewhere, or you have to be uncomfortable. So realizing that it's important to understand the process, because it's you who makes your reality. It's you who's going to determine if you're going to feel a certain type of way, if you're going to perceive a certain situation, and how it affects you. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Live your life, of course, and don't forget to say YOLO. And realizing that, once again, processing allows you to describe how you feel. So learn to be vulnerable, learn to practice daily, and take your time. Do not compare yourself to other people. If you want to work out today, if you want to start a diet, if you want to invest into yourself, do that. If you don't feel like doing anything because it's too much in time and energy, you're too depressed to get up out of bed, don't do that. That's why you have to learn how to be in tune with yourself. Realize that there's no competition. You're the only person who is you. Nobody else can be you. So practicing and reflecting, and that the more you're willing to put into yourself, the more you're able to acknowledge your senses and realize that you're lost and that you want to be found, and that it's a choice, the more likely it is you'll be able to get somewhere and start what needs to be done.